Hi guys. Okay, so today we are painting flowers. So this background, it's a canvas board because I am just practicing. I'm just fiddling around, but I wanted to share with you guys what I was doing. I was actually watching a YouTuber with Happi Art Creations. I will link her channel. She does an amazing job on flowers. So I was just watching her and I wanted to try to do what she does. So whenever I practice something, I pull up the canvas boards. And so my first attempt was trying to do flowers using the bottom of a bottle, and yeah, I need to work on that some more. So I ended up creating the background for these other flowers that I'm doing. So the background ended up looking really cool. So I just figured I would share this other part with you guys. So what we're doing is we are putting down these little drops of paint, and then we are pulling out a toothpick and taking that little bit of gold that I put in there and taking it through the flower to create the I guess details. Now with toothpicks you can do a lot of things. What we're going to do now is and Happi Art Creations, this is one thing that she showed me, it helps soften the edges of the flowers. So you're just taking and you're just doing little twirls, making little squigglies on the ends of the paint that you blew out. And what that does is it softens the edges, because we are not working with a wet base, at least. I mean, and I'm not sure if she does it even when she has a wet base or not, but right now, like my background is not wet, it is dry. So I am pouring and blowing on a dry base. So by using the toothpick, it just helps soften up those petals of the flower. So it's actually pretty cool. Now I went ahead and I sped this up because this was a very, very long process when you're, doing the detailed work. But pretty much I am putting down the Playful Pink by Arteza as the first initial, and then we're putting down the Magenta, and then we're putting down the top of my head I can't think of the next pink, the lighter pink, also by Arteza, and then the gold, and then I am putting down just the regular Artist Loft white. Sorry about my head getting in the way. I tried to edit out some of these shots where my head got really bad. That's what happens when you have a overhead camera. Yeah, so pretty much you put down the amount of paint that you want to put down, and depending on how big of the flower you want depends on how much paint you put down, and then you just use a straw to blow it out. Now if you guys have watched my other videos, I don't really like working with the straw, but when you're dealing with these detailed work, you want more of a straw versus like my mattress blower might be too much. So I didn't actually try the mattress blower on any of these. Maybe I should have. just to see what would happen, but I did not. So now on this one, I did actually pull some of that darker pink down into the middle to do some veining, I guess, of the flower. But that's what I like about using the toothpick, because it's skinny, it's narrow, so you can play around with the details a little bit, which was nice. But I had a lot of fun making these, and if you keep watching, I do a few of these big ones, and then I end up making like just petals. But pretty much the gold I ended up just putting at the very bottom of the circles. I didn't put them smack dab in the middle because I only wanted the gold, you know, at the very bottom in the middle. And then again, you know, my head got in the way, so we missed some of that flower detail. Sorry. But here I'm using the toothpick to kind of swirl the gold around a little bit, make it, I guess, a little more flower-like. I don't know. I was playing, I was experimenting, seeing what I was doing. That last one I wish I would have just left it alone, but you know, I'm playing. So it's just all an experiment, just to see, you know, what is it gonna do. But like I said, the toothpick really came in handy with this one. So now what I do is I try to, I'm like, maybe I'll make some stems or some leaves or whatever, you know, with some green and some bronze. And of course the green doesn't want to come off the stick. So it's like, okay. And then I do like a little blowout, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not liking that one. So I go and I get a wipe, because again, we're working with a dry background. So I wipe it off. Yay! I love wipes. Wipes are amazing. And look at that, it's all gone. So yeah, I 86 that plan, and now we're just going to have floating flowers, no stems, because I don't want to mess it up. So they're floating on a sea of blue and purple, right? They're just petals. And then what I decided, I was like, oh, well, you know what? Let me try, because you know how balloon kisses are. Let me try to see if I can do like marble kisses, or you know, something like that, because you know, the bottom of this marble was rounded, and yeah, I didn't really like that either. It just, I guess there wasn't enough to like push down or something, I don't know, so I didn't like it. I guess looking at the video far away it looked okay, but it really was not doing what I wanted it to do. So, but I guess if you just want round circles, that would work. I liked more like, if you, and I'll link it above, when I did my really abstract painting where I did my spoon smash and the paint was falling off my spoon, I got some really nice circle polka dots. That was a lot better than what I got from the marble. So I'll link that above, so you guys, if you want to see the outcome of those polka dots and watch that video. Okay, so the last flower that I made that you didn't get to see, my head got in the way, I apologize. I ended up just using the two colors, the white and the lighter pink. So it looks a little more delicate, not as doesn't have as much depth to it. I was just experimenting with colors. Now this one is more, again, my head got in the way, I apologize, but you'll see how I make this. But you just use a toothpick to create the shape, and you just don't blow it out as much, which is kind of cool. So then you get kind of like a petal appearance. And again, I learned all this from Happi Art Creations, and she is such a pleasant woman on her videos. I love watching her create. But yeah, and then again, I'm doing kind of some swirlies just to, you know, mess the edges up a little bit, make it look a little bit more natural. Like I said, lots of, you know, fine-tuning in this video for sure. And we're going to do a couple more of those. And here what I'm doing is I'm just taking some of that pink paint that I have on the side and bringing it in towards the middle a little bit. Swirling it up just a tad. I just had a lot more fun with this because it's more detail work. You know, I guess you can say you feel more like an artist versus, you know, when you're pouring paint, you're, you know, yes, you're laying the paint down and you're an artist, of course. But this one, it's like you're actually, I mean, you're making flowers. You know, you're making something. You know, it's kind of cool. It's, you know, the detail and the, you know, I don't know. It's kind of cool. But I did not, like I said, did not want to mess this up by making stems, and because like I said, I was trying to do something, and with the bottom bottle make a flower, and it did not work. So I know this one's kind of out of screen, but we're going to do a couple more. But right there you can see what I'm doing is I'm pulling the paint up into that point to create the top of that petal. So that way it rounds it out just a tad. And instead of doing like the full blow to the right, blow to the left, blow to the middle, blow to, you know, the bottom to get that big flower, we just end up blowing just up with the straw. And then here I'm doing the sides with the pink, pulling it into the middle a little bit. And see, just small dots for these ones, not big like the other ones. And that is the white Artist Loft Flow acrylic going over the very top. And then we just blow one little blow, and then you go right up through the middle. And then you take both edges and bring them in kind of like a triangle to soften the edges to create that leaf. Now here we're going to already, as you can see, I started one of the smaller, darker ones. I really like how these ones turned out, because when it's dry, the gold really pops on these ones. It's like boom, because what I did was I used the Playful pink on the bottom, the magenta, and then I went and put the gold, like a drop of gold. And what I did was I kind of swirled it out on the bottom, if you can see that, and it was just like, oh yeah, I like that, okay. And then it just, oh yes, I really liked how these ones turned out. Didn't have to do much to change the shape of these. And then what I did was I just swirled out the top with my toothpick just to make it nice and soft. And I did a few of these. I don't know, they kind of remind me of like rosebuds or, you know, something like that. But the gold really popped on these ones. So, you know, just playing with different shapes, putting together different combinations of the same colors. Next, I really have to learn how to do stems. Oh, I've learned so much since I started painting. It's amazing. I never thought I'd be painting flowers. And see there, I'm just doing the little swirlies on the top just to soften it out a little bit. But I mean, look at that. That just turns out really cool. And then I pull out my, just in case there's any air bubbles, but I mean, we're not working with a lot of paint, so there, you know, it was almost minimal. Alright, so here is the wet reveal, and you can see those. It looks really cool. I was very happy with the outcome of these flowers. And the dry, I mean, look at that gold. It just really pops. It's boom. Against that magenta and the light pink and the it's amazing. I love it. Very happy with the outcome. I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check me out on Instagram.